We did, yeah.
What happened to, like a police officer versus an individual? There were. Oh, so.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Looking up on the time, but it's not on the left.
Oh, it's different, isn't it, than the computers?
But you need to sign something. Gene put on here. Okay. Right here. So this just says your personal guarantee. Oh, it's signed right there?
Yeah.
Your mortgage in your house.
Mortgage in the house,
Yeah.
everything I own, all my stocks and bonds. Well, it's 6 o'clock. Is everybody ready on the left?
Getting going on.
Clerk is ready, so
Yes.
here we are.
Good to go.
So I'll call the city council regular business meeting in session for Thursday, July 18th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Lindsay, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Baker,
Here.
Brown, Cool,
Here?
Livingston,
Here.
Meineke,
Here.
Mayor Phillips is not here.
Okay, would you all please join me in the pledge of allegiance?
I'm pledging allegiance to the flag
Flag.
United States of America.
Republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On the agenda tonight, we're removing item 4 from the agenda. Is that right?
That is correct. Yeah, no dedicated work session tonight.
Okay, would anyone like to move any of the other consent agenda items to the regular agenda? If not, can I get a motion? Approval.
Motion.
Okay, it was motioned by Baker and seconded by Heineke. I'm gonna keep scoring. There, all right, okay. Welcome to the guests and, excuse me. Let's have a vote.
Nope, that's a voice vote. So you're good to move on. You're right. Yep.
All right. Okay, welcome to guests and public comment. There's a 3-minute time limit on your speech and you can take no action on it. You may speak to non-agenda items and, if you would like to comment on anything on the consent agenda, now's the time to do it. And would anyone like to speak? Okay, not seeing that, we will move on. Okay, on the consent agenda, we have expenditures. We have tax abatements. We have the July 11th, 2024 minutes of the regular council meeting. We have a resolution approving employee handbook updates. We have a resolution to approve pay estimate number 1, device construction for the Elm Avenue sidewalk protection project, I'm sorry. And we have a resolution to approve crack cleaning and sealing as part of the pavement maintenance. We have also a resolution approving paramedic training agreements, and we have our monthly reports. Can I get a motion?
Motion. Second.
Seconded by, motion by Meineke and seconded by Baker. Okay. Roll call vote?
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Meineke.
Yes.
Okay, now we'll move on to old and new business. For consideration tonight, we have a resolution, that's item 7, authorizing and approving a loan agreement, providing for the sale and issuance of general obligation corporate purpose bonds, Series 2024A, and providing for the levy of taxes to pay the same. And Gene, would you like to explain this one to.
I would.
Please.
Thank you. Yeah, we sold bonds today. This is for the non-taxable series, $10.13 million for 7 different projects or pieces of equipment that I have listed on the agenda. We received 4 bids from 35 different banks. The issuing firm went to Robert W. Baird, and I believe they're out of Milwaukee. And the interest cost was 3.6%. So extremely happy with that. Just to give you an idea, our last series in 22 was at 344. So a really good deal. And I would just like to also offer that we did get our credit rating back, and we did get affirmed a AA, which is what
Alright,
we've
good.
done for the last several years. And with that, just move approval.
Okay. Any discussion or comments from the council? Okay. Hearing none. Any comments from the public? Okay. Anything on the chat box? Got a note here. No. Okay, good. Can I get a motion to approve this resolution?
Motion?
Second.
Motion made by Baker and seconded by Mikey. And any further discussion at all? Questions? Nope. Lindsay, would you call the roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Minneke,
Yes.
Baker.
Yeah.
The next item is a resolution authorizing and approving a loan agreement, providing for the sale and the issuance of taxable general obligation urban renewal bonds, Series 2024B, and providing for the levy of taxes to pay the same. Dean, would you go over this one too?
Yes, thank you. This is for the Sportsplex grant of 1.6 million. We issued 1.75, covers all costs affiliated with this. There were 2 bids on this one with 33 different banks. Sorry about that. The low bid or the true interest cost was 4.99%. So with the taxable series, the interest rate is higher because it's going for private development, and a bond investor doesn't receive the taxable benefit at the end of the year. So that's why the rate is what it is. With that, I would just request approval.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion or comments from the council? Yeah, it is. It's market, right? Okay,
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Motion by Baker, seconded by Minneke. Any other discussion by the council? Okay, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Livingston,
Yes.
Minneke,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Brown. I'm sorry, Cool.
Yes. The next item on the docket is a resolution to enter into an agreement with NeoGov, I think I'm saying that right, for the onboard and attract module. And Carrie, I guess this one's for you to explain.
Yeah, this one is mine. So the agenda statement is pretty in-depth, but basically what I'm asking for is we already use NeoGov, which is a platform we use it for our applicant tracking system. We use it for training. And what I'm asking for is for us to also purchase the attract and onboard modules. The onboarding would help kind of streamline the onboarding process for new staff. It'll modernize it because right now it's very old school. Me sending lots of emails. I have a checklist on a piece of paper. So this would allow everyone, the supervisors, HR and the new employee to sort of use the same hub, be able to see who needs to do what for onboarding. And then the attract module will help us get a larger candidate pool that would have skilled, so that we can find the people with the right skill sets for our different positions. So if you have any questions, so I can answer for you.
Would it also make it easier for you to track what's happening too?
With the onboarding for sure. Yeah, because it would all be kept in one place versus me having papers here and there and everywhere. Trying to keep track of where I'm at with different
Good.
employees.
Any questions from the council?
When you spread the net farther out with affecting people, what,
Yeah.
how do they do that or what's?
Kind of cool. So NeoGov, the insight platform that we use for the applicant tracking program, a lot of cities use this. And so what we can do then is, let's say we have an open police officer position. We can go in and see who has applied on governmentjobs.com. And we can narrow it down. So let's say we just want to look at people that have applied in the last 12 months, police officer, as a keyword, and then even say within 30 miles of our location. And then it would filter out and give us the resumes of all those folks that fall into that category. And then we could actively reach out and just say, hey, we just wanted to let you know that we're hiring if you're interested, that sort of thing. It just sort of allows us to go to people versus people just having to see our posting somewhere. So it just helps us to be a bit more proactive.
Is there a lot of poaching between cities?
No, I don't think so. I think it would be more, I don't think of it as poaching. I would think if someone is unhappy at their current job, then this would provide them with
So
another.
would that also open the window for our people to possibly?
Well, that's already out there. Like, so the
Okay.
people that already have a tract can already see the people that have applied for our jobs. Yeah, so it wouldn't change anything in that regard.
Yeah, you never think of it as poaching if you're on the receiving end.
Right, right.
There is significant competition among police departments for the same pool of applicants. And it's almost a running joke between the chiefs that when you get a text from another chief, you respond, which candidate, so I can have his folder out. Because we're calling each other back and forth and it ends up being for a lot of it, whichever department finishes background check first, gets the candidate. And sometimes the candidates just choose which departments they like the best out of 3 or 4. And so if there is an applicant who is going to apply to every police department, but we weren't active when they started, and they didn't know it, then this would help because we're fighting all for the same group of people.
Why not the census?
You'd also be able to track like some of your testing components too and shit like that.
Yes, we can do that now with the hiring module that we already have.
Yeah.
Keep track of the status of each of our own candidates, where they are in the process.
That'd be cool.
Yep, it's really slick. It's great.
And there is more to that attract module than just that component. They have people there behind the scenes that are working as a virtual recruiter for you. They can help with social media campaigns. So there's lots of components to the attract module.
Like some pretty neat stuff. I would have had there.
Motion?
Second.
Okay, got a motion by Baker and a second by Meineke. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Minneke,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Cool,
Yes.
Livingston.
Yes.
The next item is a resolution to approve a contract with city engineering services with Vistra and Kim Incorporated. And Wayne, would you take this one, please?
Sure can. As you all know, we contract with Beanstra and Kim for our city engineering. We've had a 3-year contract that expires next month. Staff met and discussed performance. The last 3 years, we're all very happy with the service we're getting with Beanstra and Kim and with Tony Belizzi. We asked Tony to come up with another contract for another 3 years. That's included in the packet. Really no change in the services provided. There's an increase in fees that was anticipated. So that'll get budgeted. And then, of course, Tony's here if you got any specific questions for him, but staff recommendation is to approve the contract.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or discussion?
Mayor, I would just like to say a couple words, I do want to thank the city council for the opportunity to serve as your city engineer for the last several years. I believe I'm in my 9th year now as your city engineer. So we've done a lot of great things and a lot of things to look forward to, challenging times, exciting and challenging times in terms of from an engineering perspective. I also want to thank the city staff for making me feel like an extended part of the city staff for so many years. And really more recently, I've kind of dropped in my own mind, dropped that word extended because it really made me feel like part of the city staff. And we work together to solve a lot of problems. We don't always agree on everything, but they're going to get a good, solid engineering perspective from me to help us make better decisions. So really enjoyed over the years of working with our city staff. I think we've all the city staff, as well as myself, have great working professional relationship with the developers and contractors and developers, engineers that are working for the city and have an interest in working for the city. I think the interest that we have with development and things we have going on and the marketability of our community speaks volumes for your city staff and the job that they're doing for this council. And so I've enjoyed working with the city tremendously. It's my community as well. Look forward to the opportunity to work for you for the next several years, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Well, I personally appreciate you being on the staff. I really do. We had some difficulties before you got here, but we won't go into those.
Sure.
But, appreciate you being around. You've been a good, consistent person that we can talk to and ask questions. That means a lot to me.
Yeah, well, it's tough, you know, I mean, there's in the engineering and construction industry, I mean, there's always things that go wrong, but we're able to work through these things and constantly trying to improve the city subdivision regulations and the work that we do to improve our public improvements. And you know, I represent the best interests of the city, and you know, developers and their engineers don't always like the answers, but they know I'm fair and they know I'm consistent.
Well, and you get along with the city attorney too, and that's amazing.
We do. I think we do have, in my mind, we do have a very good relationship.
Any other discussion or questions at all? Okay, could I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Meineke and seconded by Brian. Okay, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Meineke.
Yes.
Okay, very good. The next item is a resolution accepting infrastructure and approving the final plat of Shadow Creek Estates Townhome Plat number 3. Luke, you probably on the ticket for this one.
Sure am. So this is a final plat for the next phase of the Shadow Creek Estates townhomes. Those are those townhomes, kind of on the northwest corner of the bigger Shadow Creek development. So really not a lot of details here. 32 lots, being added. You can see there on the plat, extension of Campus Side Place and Bracken Place as far as roads. The overall development, this is just continuation of the preliminary plan that was approved back in 2020. And so we're just going through and finishing up infrastructure and building out what was approved back then. So happy to take any questions.
Any questions or comments from the council? Basically, they're just finishing up what we already approved.
Yep.
Okay, can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Let's make up our minds, shall we?
Trying to get the motion.
Okay, Baker got the motion, Meineke second part. Okay, please call the roll.
Councilmember Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Meineke.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Okay, the next item, make sure I flip the page, is a first and possibly more readings of an
Oh,
ordinance.
go to
Nope.
F.
I did miss a page, okay. Thanks, glad you keep an eye on me. Final reading of an ordinance amending chapter 55, animal protection and control. This would be important to you. Repealing chapter 57, dog license required, and amending chapter 177, rates and fees related to the above chapters. Now, we're removing these sections dealing with stray dogs, removing the issuing of dog licensing and the change of chapter 177 to remove the fees. This change is a reduction in services directly related to House File 718. which is relief of property tax action that the legislature took in the last session. Chief, Jim, or Lindsay, are there anything else you want to add to this discussion of this?
No, sir.
Nope.
No, sir.
Any discussion or comments from the council? Any public comments? And nothing in the chat box?
Nope.
Excuse me, can I get a motion?
Second.
Okay. Motioned by Baker, seconded by Meineke. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Livingston,
Yes.
Meineke,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Okay, the next item is first and possibly more readings of an ordinance, amending chapter 177 regarding rates and fees for the Norwalk field house. We're setting fees for usage of the field house. And does Robin have anything to add to this?
I just wanna mention that we researched fees from multiple cities and took the recommendation in front of you to commission in June and July. And they are recommending the fees to a city council.
It was pretty impressive. They put together a spreadsheet with every type of competitor we had out there in different cities. And put it together for the Parks and Rec Committee. And it was pretty inclusive. We were able to really cipher through it, and they deliberated quite a while.
Yeah, good, good job. Good job. I know that was some discussion we had quite some time ago, you know, being able to do an analysis of total cost and total operations. That's good.
We don't know if we'll make enough, but you need an actuary to read it.
It sounds like they made a good start.
And I would say, we took rental requests and put them to a calendar this week. We are full every weekend from October to April. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for that. The mayor can't hardly see it from up here, so I don't know how he does it, but I think he's good job. All right, any discussion on this? From the council?
Is it open for business?
It's a soft opening right now and free to the public. We're asking for canned food donations. But we have not had the grand opening yet.
Not charging anybody yet. When's that start? After this fee structure, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was at a party a couple of weeks ago and I got jumped pretty savagely for pickleball and not having enough pickleball courts in town and not having a pickleball program. But man, I was so relieved to be able to tell them that we got 4 pickleball courts indoors in that new building.
We will have 8 as a possibility, and we have a person who has approached us to have pickleball tournaments in there.
All right,
So
we could be the pickleball capital of Iowa here. Maybe. Any public comments at all? Okay, no further discussion in the council? Can I get a motion?
Motion?
Second.
Okay, motion by Baker, seconded by Minneke. Would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Minneke,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Cool,
Yes,
Livingston.
Yes.
we're on our way now. Okay, first reading of an ordinance amending chapter
Hey,
58.
yeah, we were-
Second,
Yeah.
and third. Oh, thanks.
I would make a motion to, waive the
Okay.
next one.
Second and
Just
third
do
readings.
one, second and third, we do that as one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, second and third reading.
Can I get a second to that?
Second.
Okay. Motion by Baker, seconded by Minneke. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Minneke.
Yes.
Oh, now we really are on our way. Okay, first reading of an ordinance amending chapter 58 of vicious animals and amending chapter 177 for rates and fees of the Norwalk Municipal Code. Chief Staples, would you please take this opportunity to enlighten us?
Yes, back several months ago when I made a presentation about animal control and animal services that we provide, I mentioned that I would be coming back with a revision to the vicious animal code. That's what this is. The attorney and the clerk and I spent a lot of time going through scenarios on what we wanted or about the vicious animal code. The thing about it is, when an animal bite is reported to the police, we investigate, and part of that investigation is to determine if the animal meets the code as vicious. And if it meets that code, it becomes very difficult for the owner to keep the dog. The code's confusing. It was not laid out in an easily understandable manner for the average citizen to read and understand what the responsibilities were after their animal had a bite or bit something. So this revision streamlines some things. It adds more definitions in so that the rest of the code is not as lengthy. An example is multiple times in the current code, the current code, it says owner, and it has like 6 words that to describe the owner. And we just decided to define owner with those 6 words. So in the code, we could just say owner. Makes things a lot easier to understand. The definition of vicious is more appropriate for what we've been finding several years when we have an animal bite. The new code has a quarantine requirement. There's always been a quarantine requirement, but it wasn't really spelled out in the code exactly. And what I mean by that is when a dog bites somebody, the dog needs to either have its rabies certification available to prove that it's not going to transfer rabies to the human, or the dog has to be quarantined for 10 days. And you'll know if the dog has rabies within 10 days. We didn't have a code that necessarily said that exactly. Now we do in this revision, and it's easier for the police officer to explain it to the dog owner when their dog bites somebody. The appeals, somebody, if I declare dog vicious, the appeal section is laid out a little bit less confusingly. All the appeal rates are remaining the same. In the end, I believe that the code is easier to understand, lays out the responsibilities of a dog owner whose dog bites somebody a little bit better defines the term vicious, and keeps the level of safety to the community the same as that we have now.
Where do you quarantine?
They would have to quarantine them in their home.
Yeah.
They have to keep them inside or in a proper enclosure, which is in the code. And if they can't do that or won't agree to that, then you would quarantine it at the ARL.
Any other questions? Any comment from the public at all? Well, it's always a good thing to improve laws, especially so they're clear for people to understand. So, can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Motion by Minneke, seconded by Baker. Would you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Cool,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Minneke,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Okay, come to the time of future agenda items. The purpose of this is for the council to give direction to staff by way of a motion to have items placed on future agendas, and this is not a time for discussion of the merits of the subject. Are there any future agenda items that you'd like to place on the agenda tonight? Nope, hearing none. We lost while we wanted to talk about parking requirements. So we took it off the agenda. I need to read that, okay. All right. Thinking to myself, is that a note to me? A note to- Anyway, okay, so council inquiries and staff updates. Is Luke Nelson on the Zoom?
He is.
I am on here and I don't have anything. Thank you.
Pretty nice. Hey, I was glad to see that photograph today on your trip.
Thanks for the good advice on the great restaurant.
Hopefully you're having a good time. Jackie, do you have anything?
I do not, thank you.
Jason?
Jason's not here.
Lindsay?
Nothing from me, thanks.
Robin?
No.
Jean?
It was a big day. I want to extend a big thanks to all the department heads because with your help, we were able to close on the property. So the city now owns the property over in the new development of Norwalk Central. So it's a big step. And I also signed the contract on behalf of the Library Foundation to move into the capital campaign. So very exciting. So we're throwing a party tomorrow. Everyone is invited. It's a community party. It's our end of the summer ice cream social because we're done right now. So free ice cream. Sarah Ralph is playing music, live music from 1:30 to 2:30. And we'd love to have you guys come over and see what's going on and celebrate with our community members.
That's pretty nice. We can actually put a stake in the ground now.
That's
We got
right.
a place to put
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't disturb the corn.
it.
Thanks.
Good. Let's see, Holly, are you on the line?
Nope.
Okay, Jean, do you have anything?
I have nothing. Thank you.
Okay, Chief?
Just, 3 quick things. We continue to do background checks, hoping to get, 2 people, approved for hire in time for the police academy that starts in August. Officer Jackson, as you saw in the paper today, was awarded, Mother's Skin Drunk Driving award for the Norwalk Police Department. He was selected due to him being the officer with the most OWI arrests in calendar year 2023. He's very good at that, and he's looking for him every night he works. And the last thing is I observed you talking about the pickleball and the desire for pickleball. I just wanted to say that if you should happen by the Dare Golf Tournament tomorrow, our silent auction item has a portable pickleball set. So come on down and bid and maybe you'll be lucky and you can play pickleball wherever you want.
There you go. Pretty good,
That's all I,
pretty good plug. Thank you,
On
Chief.
Saturday, not tomorrow.
Saturday, yes, Saturday.
Yeah, well, they can show up tomorrow if they want to, I guess, but nobody will be there.
You'll be the only vote. Be the only bidder, right?
That's it. Okay, Tony, you have anything?
Nothing else for me. Thanks.
And let's see, Chief Porter,
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Wayne,
Nothing.
Gary,
Nope.
other Luke.
Just that we now have our second inspector hired and on staff, so
Good.
we are back up to full staff on our inspection side of things. Still got a lot of training to do with those folks, but it's good to have our full group back and
Yeah.
be less busy for the other guys.
How long does it usually take you to train up somebody like that?
We kind of have like a full year-long process of different certifications we want them to work through and everything,
Yeah.
so it's a process.
It sounds like a policeman takes about a year from.
Yep.
Ground zero.
Lots of different things. We hope to be able to turn our first guy loose to do some independent work next week, so.
Good. Good. Let's see, Ed doesn't have anything to say. George,
Nothing.
Brian,
Nothing.
Jim.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Nothing. All right. Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Seconded, motion by Baker, seconded by Meineke. And this is a voice vote, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Same sign.